Welcome to this Friday edition of the Evening Review. Hope you had a good week. My name is Sokhane, and joining us in studio is Heinrich Hafeni, who will be speaking about an expo to promote Namibia as an investment destination given the Africa Free Trade Continental Agreement. Before we go into that interview, however, a short break. Welcome to the Evening Review.
Thank you very much for my maiden visit to the Evening Review.
You are hosting an expo to promote Namibia as an investment destination within the continent. You just talk us through the expo.
Thank you. I'm Heinrich Hafeni. I'm an entrepreneur, and also happen to be the co-founder of the Africa Economic Leadership Council, which is a Pan-African business organization with aim and objective to connect and bring together entrepreneurs and business leaders in the continent. Our formation was inspired by Mr. Percy Koji, who was also an alumni of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. For the past 5 years, since we are both alumni, he's based in South Africa. We started talking and engaging how post-USA will we go back to the continent and find a platform where we can connect entrepreneurs and create opportunities and synergies. And COVID-19 came and brought about an awakening of that conversation we've been having, and the formation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement area that came into operation last year, January, gave us a boost to launch our organization in April last year, 6 in Swakopmund, Namibia, with the support of the President, His Excellency, the Secretary General of the Continental Free Trade Agreement area, Wamkele Mene, came all the way from Ghana to come and launch our organization together with our government Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Netumbo Ndaitwah, and our governor from Erongo region, and distinguished business people during that time. Our aim and objective is very clear. It's just that Africa has pronounced itself that it's open for business, and the AU Agenda 2063 talks about the Africa we want, and where me and you, are going to hold hands to build the new Africa that is self-reliant and hence, obviously, I think we are very much into that context of AU Agenda 2063 and the Continental Free Trade unpacking. So Africa Economic Leadership Council was initiated in that sphere.
Okay. There have been many type of these conferences and expos that have been held. What makes this one different? And, you know, for the people that are interested in attending, for the people interested in exhibiting, what are the key advantages that they can get from participating in this?
Our vision as Africa Economic Leadership Council is very much on the continent. We have since launched in our chapter in South Africa in 5th of April in Johannesburg, where we had the keynote speaker, His Excellency David Makura of Gauteng, and our Ambassador Veiko Ngiwete, and distinguished business invited guests. We also recently launched our chapter in Botswana in Gaborone. Aim and objective is to mobilize, obviously, support for the Discover Namibia Intra Africa Trade Expo and Summit that's going to happen in Swakopmund on the 23 and the 25. Namibian entrepreneurs have, many of, especially the SMEs, have been focusing on the local, doing business locally. But for us as Africa Economic Leadership Council, felt there is an opportunity to expose and unpack to Namibian entrepreneurs and African entrepreneurs how to do business in Africa. Hence, we've invited key experts, entrepreneurs, and policymakers to come and unpack this. When you look at our program, there's a very strong emphasis on what is the Continental Free Trade Agreement area. And there's a lot of emphasis of unpacking it on the first panel session and discussion. We have also in engagement with the Secretariat in Ghana to where we can get a message, where are we now at the continental level of the trade in the continent. If you look correctly, the current statistics of trade in the continent is about 17%, compared to Europe and Asia, which is about over 50% or 60% respectively. I think our expo is different in a way that it's an African opportunity. We are unpacking an African to entrepreneurs of Africa to, I think, doing it in Namibia. We had a chance to do it in South Africa, but the fact that Namibia gave us an opportunity to launch last year and during a very difficult time in COVID, so we felt very much that we must still do it in Namibia, because our initial aim was to do a 3-day exhibition. And the current exhibition that we are doing with Expo, which is focusing on government, private sector, and SMEs, about 120 businesses exhibition, and then we have a 3-day conference unpacking different sectors doing tourism in Africa. How do we make sure that we increase intra-Africa tourism, logistics, movement of goods on the continent? We're engaging with stakeholders like Namport and Waffelsberg Corridor Group and SACU to come and unpack what are the opportunities, because now there is an opportunity: food security and agriculture, technology, and financing of African entrepreneurs. So when you come as a delegate to the conference or an exhibitor, you will able to have an know-how or an understanding about these very key new opportunities.
Agenda 2063, Africa Free Trade Continental Agreement. These words are always being thrown around, but then for the layperson, for the entrepreneur,
yes.
You know, what do I stand to benefit? You know, where do I fit? Where do I fit into all of this? You know, these are some of the questions that entrepreneurs, I'm sure, are having amongst themselves.
Which is true, and I think even for a layman who also have a dream, you know, it's a beautiful language, Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, and now. The Continental Free Trade Agreement area is a flagship economic program of Agenda 2063. So meaning that it's a beautiful word, continental, to enhance economic integration in the continent. There's tariffs and barriers that is preventing entrepreneurs on the continent from trading within the continent. So hence that we have invited key experts that will unpack this beautiful words at the panel discussion, where the delegates and investors who are coming, who are not investor, we are talking, even the grassroots entrepreneur is also an investor. So I think there has been I think a narrative that investor is only somebody who's outside Africa, but I think we need to start changing that narrative that the delegates and the investors for local. We want now to unpack these beautiful words. What does it really mean? What is the continent of free trade? Why the continent of free trade? What are the key ingredients, and what are the obviously we've got the barrier. There's a lot of things going on within that, and I think that's why we say that we're not saying that we are the expert, but we know that since the introduction of the Continental Free Trade Agreement area, for the first time, 54 African countries, governments, including Namibia, signed this agreement. Many of them need to be rectified, but again, we are 55 African countries, and for too long, there's never been a policy on the continent where talks about where it's a signatory that says now we are all agreeing to work together to increase trade on the continent, which is a milestone and something that all of us in the continent should be excited about. But again, we know that us as Africa Economic Leadership Council and many other formations in Africa has to come up and start discussing and breaking down this, because Secretary General Wamkele Mene or the AU Trade Commissioner cannot do it alone. They need all Africans to hold hands, and I think that we are doing our part as young Africans and seeing that there is a lot of work to do, there's a lot of unpacking to do, hence we say we are partners in the unpacking the Continental Free Trade Agreement opportunities. What are those opportunities?
Then interested persons that are interested in attending the expo, where can they get more information? Where can they buy tickets? Where's the event going to be held, and so on and so on and so forth?
The event is going to be held on the 23 and 25 of May in Swakopmund, Namibia, at the Swakopmund Hotel and Entertainment Center.
It coincides even with Africa Day.
And I think the fact that we chose this Africa Day is we want to also have a business gala dinner on Africa Day to celebrate Business Africa and our delegates that have come. We have delegates as far as Ghana, Cameroon, Zambia, Nigeria, to name a few that are coming besides, because we want an African story to be told, that the opportunities, because we only know our local context. I am very fortunate to have traveled on the continent, and I've seen that Africa, we are one. And I think when we have our friends coming here to look for investment opportunity, I think Swakopmund has been. I'm a town councillor as well in Swakopmund. Obviously, we've been very happy that we've been receiving a lot of activities international, especially with the World Skills Africa, with the Africa Triathlon, and now we're going to have a Discover Africa Intra Africa Expo. And I think the aim and objective is just to showcase Namibia, and Namibia has an opportunity to showcase itself to Africa. What are those investment opportunities that are there? And we have again, it's an entrepreneurial platform. And again, you ask a question. There are already a lot of expos. We are not, our focus is about the continent, is open for business. We have chosen Namibia to do our first activity, and we want to come back to Namibia again, but we have a vision to host different summits and business activities in different African countries in consultation with our partners in the different African countries. Yes.
And then back to my question, interested parties that are interested in attending it, how do they want to participate?
Those who want to attend the Discover Namibia Intra Africa Trade Expo can follow us on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Africa Economic Leadership Council. All our information are there. Or you can also contact or WhatsApp me, 0811 466 222, and we will furnish you with all the relevant information. For those viewers who want to come and just see the exhibition, we're only charging a 50 Namibian dollars. And for the people who want to just come to be a conference delegate to the conferences, because the conferences are one of the highlights, because they are unpacking the opportunities at the same time, we're charging 1,500 Namibian dollars for the 3 days, and then 600 Namibian dollar for those one who just want to go to a specific session per day. We have also made our prices for the exhibitions for 30% discount to SMEs. Our aim is to see a lot of small businesses and they can engage us. We want to see that we can tell a good story together. We are entrepreneurs. We understand the difficulties of entrepreneurs. We know that there's an opportunity on the continent. We want to expose Namibian and African entrepreneurs to these opportunities, hence our speakers and our business people and then our policy makers, which is government, and we are going to hold hands to be able to unpack these new opportunities at Discover Namibia Intra Africa Expo. Africa is open for business, and I think it's an exciting time post-COVID. There's never been anything, and I've been looking around 360 degrees to see somebody else doing it. But again, it's you and I are the one that must do those opportunities. I come from the Chamber of Commerce. I was an NCCI chairman in Swakopmund, and I was lucky to be part of the formation of the Switex in Swakopmund. And I think this time around, I've put on a continental hat to say that let us, Namibia entrepreneurs, let's hold hands, let's move on to the continent. We are going to meet in Swakopmund, and our partners, Namibia Media Holdings. Thank you for holding hands with us. And I think it's because of the support and all the stakeholders. We have been received very well. Corporate Namibia, government Namibia, and SADC, and Africa in general. So we want to continue to hold hands. And we know that it's not when you have done nothing, nobody will take you obviously seriously, but we know that. But we know that we will tell a good story that will advance our beautiful continent, our beautiful Namibia with our partners. Thank you.
Of course. There you have it, entrepreneurs. Africa is open for trade. Africa is open for opportunity. I would encourage you as well to participate in this expo that is going to be held. Until then, good night and take care.
Thank you very much. Good night.